the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. The Sports Hit List presents Smoke and Mirrors with Declan Krogman and the Polius Brothers, Greg and Stefan, breaking down the biggest news in sports, giving you the stories behind the story, here for all the smoke, all the time, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
How's it going, and good afternoon. You are watching Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Declan Krogman and Greg Polius. And what a day it is. I'm excited for today's topics.
Shout out to your attire here. I'm getting Hollywood vibes right now.
I mean, yeah, you know, some people say New Jack City. You know, I'll take that too.
I was gonna say, you know, rest in peace, Chadwick. Is what the vibes I'm getting from you today, man.
Wakanda.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, look who it is! Look who popped up on the bottom left.
Yes, sir. So, as you see here, guys, we do have some special guests today. We're gonna be talking baseball at the top of this. Our way too early predictions for the MLB. I'm covering division winners, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Cy Young Award winner, and we're going off of the newest format. So it's 2020's playoff format, so 8 teams from both the NL and the AL. It hasn't been agreed upon for this year. We're still waiting to see what the Player Association and what the MLB agree upon, but it's going to be exciting. I say, Declan, if you want to start with your division winners, who do you think is going to win the division, AL and NL?
Which division you want me to start in?
Whichever one you want. I mean,
All the divisions, or we starting with one, going to one?
you can start with all the divisions, and then we'll go through your NL, your AL, and then we'll get to the award winners after that.
All right, sounds good. What's up, Manny?
Manny, turn your camera.
Welcome. So this is our other guest. So I'm sorry, I didn't do the best introduction. So we do have Garrison, our other brother. So Garrison Polius with us, and Manny, both contributors to the Sports Hit List. It's going to be a Sports Hit List heavy show.
In the
So welcome, and Declan, if you can hit us with yours.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start in the AL East because that's everyone's favorite division. Just kidding. I'm going to go with the Yankees. I'm going to go with the Yankees to win. Give me 102. I don't know why I like that number, but I think that's going to be what they do this year. As far as the AL Central goes, everyone's going with the White Sox, the hot team, and I think they will be. I think they'll get into the playoffs 100%. I think they'll have some real shining stars there. Don't know if I love the dynamic of La Russa with those young players yet, but granted, NFL head coaches mean more to a team than MLB managers do, especially these days, even with an old manager. That said, I'm still going to have to go with the Twins, the reigning AL Central champions. I got them winning yet again in that division. In the AL West, I got a little bit of a surprise pick. Everyone's talking about the Astros.
Yes.
They got a lot of injuries, with Justin Verlander, their pitching staff. Lost Springer. Valdez got hurt in that spring training game against the Mets. I think that's huge for them. Jose Urquidy, he was their big rookie pitcher last year. He's going to be on an innings limit, so that's going to be tough. Damn, give me the Angels. I just like them this year. I think it's a little bit different.
I knew it.
That's my. All right, good. That's my sleeper pick.
I like it though. I like it a lot.
You got to keep it light. I think the A's are going to be pretty good. For some reason, whatever reason, I think that the Angels, they're a team that excites me. I think that they're starting to put a little bit more around Trout. If they can work out the whole Ohtani situation, like David Fletcher, he's an excellent contact hitter at second base. Anthony Rendon is going to look to build on kind of the year I don't want to say took off, but now that he's on the Angels officially for his first full season after winning the World Series with the Nationals, he's going to look to not necessarily prove himself, but to really cement himself as a top third baseman in the league. This is a team that doesn't have excellent pitching, so I think a guy like Luis Castillo at the deadline would be perfect for them. I think the Reds and their terrible defense are not going to be good this year, so that's all I'm going to say for the Angels. As far as the NL East goes, I'm going to go with the Braves over the Mets, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think it's going to be within 5 games, to be honest with you. I really do like the Mets this year, and I think they can make some noise. But I'm going to go with the Braves as the division champ there. And just to speed it up here in the NL Central, I like the Brewers. I like Woodruff, I like Yelich. And that outfield defense is superb. And in the NL West, I'll go with the Dodgers over the Padres. Nothing crazy there. I am rocking a Sandy Koufax jersey today. I would never rock a Trevor Bauer. Don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know. But it's Sandy Koufax.
All right, and real quick, I just want to get your. We still need your second place finishes and the wild card.
All right, I thought I was in the divisions. All right, so
yeah, that's all right. We'll go. I'm gonna go through that because it's gonna be one thing, one time clean.
Absolutely. So my two, well, I guess not wild card teams. If the MLB doesn't do the whole 18 thing, my 2 wild card teams, Mets and the Padres. I actually have the Mets finishing a little bit better than the Padres. I think they're going to host that game, the 1-game playoff at Citi Field, if that's how they go with the league. But if they don't, if they do the 8 teams, I like the Mets, Padres as the second place teams. In the Central, I like the Cardinals as my third second place team. And then the other 2 wild card teams give me the Nationals over the Phillies by a slim margin. I hate that everyone's sleeping on the Marlins, but I'm going to have to sleep on them, be dead asleep with everyone. I just don't think they're that good, unfortunately. And as far as my other wild card team goes, give me the Chicago Cubs. Oh, I got to give you the AL.
Yeah, AL, yeah.
Jesus. All right. AL second place teams.
I'll do real quick.
My wild card game would be the White Sox at home at Guaranteed Rate. What a terrible name for a stadium. Hosting the Athletics. But my second place team is going to be the Rays, White Sox, Athletics, and my wild card teams are going to be the Indians and the Astros.
Nice. Rounded out pretty well. Let's get you, Greg. I want to hear what your picks are. You do the same division, go into second place, then we'll get to wild card.
I'll give you the un-Travis McKay-like response as opposed to Declan.
What was I supposed to do? He wanted everything.
It's all right, Deck. You're good, bro.
Yeah, but I will say, we'll start with the AL. I got the Yankees winning the division because I like what they did with the pitching acquisitions. Manny, I don't want to hear your mouth. You heard it here first. Steph, make sure you're getting these down so in the future somebody can't say, "Oh, you're so biased."
I'm doing a few things behind the scenes. I'm gonna get everyone's picks right after this. We're gonna keep track of it. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but
stay on topic.
Yankees. Oh, it is definitely on topic. In the Central, I'm gonna go White Sox. I'm gonna go with the popular pick. I love the young talent. In the West, I'm not going to go Angels. I'm going to stick with the Astros because I still think they're the better team, even with all of that being said. And then it's 3 second-place teams, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then I go with the Rays in the East. In the Central, I'm going to go with not the Indians, but instead, actually, I'm going to go with the Royals.
I love that pick. I think that's
I think the Royals have been making some sneaky moves, and they can be competitive in a weak division. And then in the West, I'm going to go with the A's. Doesn't Billy Bean at the trade deadline?
Yeah, there's always options to do that.
They're doing Matt Chapman for
I know.
Brett Lawrie.
And in the NL, I'm going to go Braves in the East. Not Brewers. Cardinals winning the Central, and Dodgers winning the West, with the 3 second-place teams being the Mets, the Brewers, and the Padres.
Okay.
And then the wild card playing game in both leagues in the AL, you give me the Blue Jays hosting a game. I actually think Blue Jays and Angels wild card. And in the NL, it would be probably, I would say, Phillies and Nats to steal some thunder.
It's okay, I changed my mind.
Yeah,
it's a competitive NL East. You could just say that. Like, it's the best.
It's arguably the best division in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there could be 5 teams not 5 teams that make the playoffs, but 5 teams in contention. I mean, we saw, 3 last year, and one of them wasn't even a defending champ.
So,
Joe Girardi's with the Bills.
I don't think that's a wild claim. Don't worry, Greg. I changed mine up so you can keep your thunder with that one, all right?
All right.
Per usual. Mandy, what you got for me, man? What do you got? Your divisions, your second place finish, and the wild cards.
Give me the Yankees, the White Sox, and I got the Astros.
All right.
So you got
always enthusiastic.
I'm going with the same pick that I went last year, back in the NL East preview. I'm going Mets. I got the Brewers, and I have the Padres.
Okay.
Wow.
I like
But
it.
that's fun. That's great.
I fought with myself on that decision. Pods and Dodgers.
So I was
actually
real
gonna
close to. Go ahead, Manny. Go ahead, Manny.
No. I was just gonna say the reason why I was fighting between either the Cardinals or the Brewers, but my thing is, yes, Arenado's there, and that's a game changer right there. But the thing is, remember, we're so used to him playing with the Rockies. You know how the home run ball is over there. So let's see how he actually does.
The splits are good though.
No, I'm not
They
trying
can
to
be better.
crack on him or nothing, but it'll be interesting to see how he plays in the actual park. Understand?
Also, a guy on a new team in general.
Also, I was a little hesitant on the Pods winning the division because they still got two of their top two arms hurt. So when those guys come back, I'll feel a lot different about them.
Yeah, that's true. We could definitely see that. And for second place teams, I have the Blue Jays. I have the Angels. I have the Braves. I got the Cardinals, obviously, and I actually went Dodgers. Wild card wise, I got the Angels versus Rays. Tampa Bay Rays. Even though I would love to see, I still feel like going back on what Greg said last year when we did our preview of Sports History. Shout out to Carl. We said that AL East will have like the Rays, the Blue Jays, and Yankees as like the top three teams going forward, future wise. So the NL, I actually have the Cardinals versus the Dodgers.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We have bold clarity there. Well, I was going to go next. Garrison, you ready? You want to take it?
Yeah, no, I'm
few different opinions. I mean, a lot of similarities, but there's some differences there. Manny really threw a wrench in what most people were saying.
Big wrench.
Gotta love the wrench, though. The wrench is fun.
Hey, I like different takes. All right, we're not here to have the same opinion. You know, we all have different takes on it. So, Garrison, let us know.
Wait till we get to the award pick.
All right. So I'm gonna start in the AL too, just because I'm following suit. So I think I have the AL East. I have the Yankees coming out. I just like what they did. They're a solid team, top to bottom. It's really hard to bet against them right now.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't, but.
It's cold.
In the Central, I have the White Sox. I love what the White Sox did. I love the talent the White Sox have. I'm still, because they are still young, I'm a little interested to see how they're going to go, but I do believe that they can take the division. In the AL, what are we?
West?
Yes, the AL West right now. I have the Astros. I still think that, like Chris said, I still think they're the best team in the division. It's going to be really hard for them to lose that mantle. Someone's going to have to try to take them, but I believe that they're going to be great going through this season. They still have their horses. They still have, Altuve still there, Correa's still there. Still have a great, strong nucleus. Michael Brantley's still there. So I still feel really good about the Astros.
Waiting on Verlander mid-season.
And yes, once Verlander comes back, he's going to be a little rusty, but we've seen Verlander come back before.
Not worried about him.
Yeah, like the guy. I think he's going to be money.
Automatic.
He's old, though.
In the NL, so
Timeless wonder.
I have the
Ageless wonder.
I know I'm donning all this Mets
All
here.
the same.
All this Mets here. However, I have the Braves winning it. And I wrestled with that, I wrestled with that a lot because I'm a Mets fan. I love the Mets. But I really love what Atlanta has going on. I love their talent. I love their staff. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. They have an exciting brand of baseball. And Acuna is one of my favorite players to watch right now. In the NL Central, I have the Cardinals. Like Manny said about Arenado, I think he's the game changer with that roster. You have someone who can easily give you 30 home runs, 35 plus home runs, 100 RBIs, and give you elite level play at 30.
Catalyst. Definitely a catalyst.
Platinum glove winner.
Platinum.
Put some respect on his name.
Best third baseman in the league.
So you bring a talent like Arenado. You have Yachty still there running that pitching staff. You have they always find a way to draft well. So I feel really good about the Cardinals. And in the NL West, lastly, I have the Dodgers still. And while I believe the Padres
safe pick.
Yeah, but the Dodgers have established themselves as the strongest team in the They are World Series champions, and while the Padres are the team, I think that like the up and coming new fresh team that's out there with an amazing amount of talent, crazy staff. I still have the experience matters, and I still have that Dodger team coming out winning the NL West. Now, in terms of wild card picks, so for the NL, I have the Padres and I have the Mets coming as the two wild card teams. And in the AL, they all have the Twins and the Rays. I love the Twins. Actually, if we can jump back in the AL Central for the second pick, the Twins are actually my second team. I think the Twins had a very good year last year.
Second place team?
Yeah, they're the second place team in Central. Same thing with the AL East. I have the Rays as my second place team as well. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I think the AL East is very top heavy right now. While I think the Blue Jays can be a dark horse just because of how much talent they have, especially in the infield, I still don't think they have the pitching to compete in there. And lastly, I have in the West, I have the A's as the second place team in the AL West right now. In the NL, the Mets are my second place team to come out of the East. I have the Brewers coming out of the Central, which I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. The Brewers they're some good ball club over there, and I have the Padres finishing second over there in the AL West. So not too much, not too different, but I feel good about it.
Not at all. I mean, they sound good. I'm liking everyone, even Manny. Manny over there with his wrench, his monkey wrench he threw in there. I like Manny's picks too. I'm gonna keep mine quick. All right, you guys made a lot of good points. I'll start with the AL. I got the Yankees in the AL East. I got the White Sox in the Central, and I got the Astros in the West. I'm still feeling good about the Astros. Declan, you can say what you want. For my second place finishes, I'm going to have Blue Jays in the East, Twins in the Central, Angels in the West. I really like what you did there, Declan, when you put them at 1. I wasn't as bullish as you were, but really like them. And my wild cards, my AL wild cards are going to be the Rays and the Mariners. I think the Mariners, really. I think they can surprise you. I think what's going to happen, Jared Kalinick is going to be the catalyst. I think Kalinick has been an absolute beast. He might be someone that contributes, and you might hear his name later. Just putting it out there, a little foreshadowing. But Kalinick, to me, could be a big piece for them. So, NL, I got the Braves and the NL East. Love my Mets, but I'm going to go Braves. All right, I also don't like to jinx anything. And the Central, I got the Cardinals for every reason that Manny and I think Greg and Garrison said. I got the Dodgers in the West. Second place teams, my Mets, of course. Padres in the West, and then the Cubs in the Central. Really struggled with the Padres and the Dodgers. And to finish up for the wild card, I got the Nationals and the Brewers. So when we come back, we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to cover some of the awards, MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Cy Young. So stay locked in. We'll talk to you soon. It's Smoke and Mirrors presented by Sports Tidlets on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll be back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back. You are watching Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented by the Sports Tidlets. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Stephen Brockman and Greg Polius. We also have our special guests, Manny and Garrison from the Sports Tidlets. All right, so we're talking baseball still. We got through our division winners, our second place finishes, and our wild cards. Now we're going to get into some of the awards, and we're going to go in this order. You guys, it's gonna be. I'm gonna do MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. Let's save Rookie of the Year for last because that could be volatile. That could go either way. So I think I want to save it for the end. Deck, you started, so we're gonna do snake order reverse. Garrison, you want to start? MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. What you got? NLA though.
So, look like you need a minute.
Yeah, I mean, can I propose something? Can I propose something quick? I think that it might be fun, especially because Rookie of the Year is so volatile. If we all did, okay, I say Garrison starts with his MVP, then Manny goes MVP.
What do you want to? You want to do an MVP, round of MVP, round of Cy Young?
Okay, yeah. It'll create more. I feel like it creates more conversation.
Do it. I like it. Let's see what Gary. So just your MVP.
All right, so right now, AL MVP, I have Trout. I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna have a
baby.
monster season.
Kingfish.
No one's gonna argue with that. I think. I mean, you can't be mad at it.
You got.
Oh,
You mute yourself?
You good? You say something?
Oh, hold on, what?
Oh yeah, we got you. Yeah, all right, you're good. Technical
he got all
difficulties,
that
everybody. Sorry about that.
He got all that money, so I imagine he's going to do his thing this year. Are we doing AL and NL?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so NL. Now this is like this was tough. I had between Acuna and Tatis. I'm going Acuna because I think they robbed him, and I think he's gonna have even bigger season. So I have Acuna as the NL MVP.
Okay. All right, Manny, what you got? AL NL MVP.
I was gonna go with Trout. I mean, the man is consistent. He's one of the best. But no, I said I was gonna go with Trout.
Ooh, okay.
I'm actually gonna be bold here, and I'm gonna go Tim Anderson.
Wow.
That's a fun one. I like that one.
Whoa! If there was a record skip, if I had a record skip on there, I'd do a record skip real quick. Tim Anderson.
That's a pick.
I like it. I like it.
That is bold.
Anderson with
in the league. He's been a big favorite of mine. And I feel like
good for average, stolen bases.
As a coach and
Yeah.
stuff.
Get the pop.
That
All
right.
around player, man. All around player. So I'll go with him. And on the NL, obviously Tatis and Acuna, I'm going Juan Soto.
Okay. All right. I like that pick. I just want to say real quick, you heard it here first, everybody. Tim Anderson, AL MVP. If it happens, Manny said it on Smoke and Mirrors. All right? You book it here.
That's a hell of a pick.
I like it. All right, so Greg, we're going to go you, and then we're going to finish up not finish up the deck. I'll finish it up, but what you got?
In the AL, I got my guy who I thought kind of got robbed last year, Jose Abreu.
won last
Oh, reliable.
He won last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
No.
he did win.
No,
Yeah,
no.
he did.
MVP?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
In the 60-game year. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then-
yeah.
then Forgive me.
Speedy,
Correct.
Speedy confirmed it.
Okay, thanks you, Speedy. I appreciate it. So I got him going back to back. Then I think the lineup got even better around him, and he's going to continue to produce. So I guess not the sexy pick as Tim Anderson.
Oh, reliable, man.
White Sox pick, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
And in the NL, I'm going with the homer pick. I'm going to go with Francisco Lindor.
Ooh.
Okay.
wow.
And I think Lindor is going to have a 30-30 season.
I thought about it. I'm not mad at you, obviously. I think he can be an MVP candidate, obviously, but I didn't expect you to do it. I'm glad you pulled the trigger, though.
I like the Anderson pick.
But he's not biased.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, no. I mean, I did. See, didn't I tell you it was going to come up? This is exactly why I said it. I told you it was going to come up. And within the first 5 minutes of me speaking. Go ahead.
All right, Declan, what you got? ALNL.
All right. I think Gary will come back.
Yeah, he'll come back in.
Momentarily. All right, so in the NL, right, I wrestled with the prospect of like, oh, is Bryce Harper going to have this crazy year where he goes back? And I'm just like, nah, the Phillies ain't going to be good. But I think he'll have a really good year, but I don't think the Phillies are going to be that good. And he'll hit 270, so that's not going to get you an MVP. No. Yelich I even thought about, but, coming off that injury, I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's a year away from being in another MVP contention. I'm going to have to go with Manny here. I mean, Juan Soto just looks like a beast. The way he, for a guy who's 22 years old, the way he adjusts to if he gets beat on a pitch, you're not beating him with the same pitch the next time. He is the king of adjustments. He got the World Series under his belt. I think he just needs the MVP. And I mean, he's a threat to hit 50 home runs this year. He is that good. He is insane.
I think Steph and I had the conversation that, it was why the Nats were okay with just letting Bryce Harper walk, because they had this guy waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
To play his
position,
play it better, honestly. But, I think that's a great pick. I got Tatis. I think Tatis will be great in the long run, but I got him on a little bit of a regression this year. I just think that it's going to – oh, wow. I'm telling you right now.
Regression.
Yeah, I don't even know why you would think that. That's kind of crazy to me.
I'm back. Sorry, people.
Watch.
It's all right.
Because you know what? Out of all these guys, welcome back, Gary. Out of all Soto, Acuna, Tatis,
yeah,
we have never seen where all three of these like marquee guys wind up where they should be. Something always happens. That lineup is
You
crowded.
think Tatis is the one that's gonna regress?
Dude, I'm not saying a major regression. He's gonna be
You
great
just said
in the long
regression. I don't think.
Yeah,
regression
you
is
didn't
it.
qualify.
So what I will say
run. Well, let me
is,
qualify.
all right, you can qualify it.
If he's,
Are you finished? I'll let you finish, and then I'll say my picks.
all right, thanks, John. If he hits 270, right, and hits 25 homers, or if he hits 265, 25, 30 homers, I'm telling you, watch. You're all
You
laughing.
think 25? You think 25 is
What?
Not 25, like 30.
I think
said
no,
that,
no,
though.
35
All right,
to 40, bro.
The amount of disrespect you are giving to this.
No. You guys, and here's what you guys don't understand.
You cannot buy MLB the show.
I can, you know why? Because I'll beat your ass in the show. That's why I'll buy it. Okay, you know what? Okay. You know, he doesn't even play on
Keep
the-
it PG-13.
Wow.
Got the kids watching.
I can
Holy
say
smokes!
All right, let's
smokes!
All right, finish up.
If he's gonna hit 265, 30 bombs, and you know what? I see him. That shoulder injury is a problem already, and I see him on the IL or the DL, whatever it is nowadays. And I see that being a problem. I see him playing 130 this year. I'm telling you, I just see a slight regression.
Okay, all right.
Everyone's gonna be as good as they always are this year. If that was the case, they wouldn't play the game.
He's
Juan-
arguably a top 5 player in baseball.
Juan
Yes,
Soto's going to regress.
obviously.
Juan Soto's going to regress. I mean, we're talking about regression. Everybody regresses.
Juan
I guess.
Soto's not gonna regress.
You just made a case that we could go on a huge tangent right now, and we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna reel it in because Steph has to make his picks. All right.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
my
even make
NL.
a this
We
weekend.
I'm
speaking in
gonna
third
start-
person now. I heard you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Steph's gonna make his picks. All right, so I'm gonna start my NL MVP is Fernando Tatis Jr. because I do not see the regression that Declan sees, and 25 home runs is what he does in his sleep.
30.
30 is the easy plateau. What you saw in the pandemic season, the 2020 season, was Tatis leading the league in the beginning. He was so hot, and then he cooled off. If you gave him 162 games, no doubt he would have caught fire again. He catches fire the way that Mike Trout catches fire. You know, you haven't seen enough from Tatis to know what his trends are, but the superstars do that. Mike Trout doesn't have bad droughts. It's like he doesn't hit for the same power or average, but then once he starts doing it again, it is ridiculous. He's so consistent. Tatis, to me, is a consistent hitter. I do not see him at that 260 batting average, like you said. That just seems like again under
I said 265.
280, 290. He could push 300 to me, but we don't have to get into all that detail. I love Tatis Jr. as an MVP for NL, and I don't think there's so many people who would disagree with me besides Deborah.
Just to hit on something real quick, even if Tatis hits 265, if he hits 40 bombs and drives in 100 runs, it won't matter.
And
But I
20
didn't
plus
say he
stolen
would do
bases.
that. I said he would hit 30 home runs, 265. If he
That's
plays
a
100
floor. Like imagine that.
That's my point. He's gonna floor this year. It's not to disrespect him. I just said he
Absolutely.
No, it's not. You can make it
regress? They just improved their team. Why do you think he's going to regress?
Because I'm telling you, he's playing a full year now. I think it's just going to be different. That's all. 265 and 30 home runs is not bad, but I don't think he's going to be great this year. That said, I think he's going to be great in the long run.
So
Okay.
You can have a down year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's recorded. We got Tim Anderson MVP in the AL, and we got Tatis Jr. taking a huge step back. Oh, sorry, slight step back, and
we got Lindor. And we got Lindor when he was horrible.
Yes, we do. I mean, with your take, Lindor just kind of slides in afterwards. We buried the lead by talking about Lindor.
He's not stealing 30 bases either.
Okay,
Lindor is in an offense that he's never been in before, so let's not forget that either.
I mean, who's Jose Ramirez on the Mets?
Jose Ramirez and who else?
Peter.
No. That's my point. He has protection that he's never had before.
I mean, that World Series team was right.
Shout out to Speedy. Absolutely right. The boldest take so far on this channel has been Stephen picking the Mariners to make the playoffs, which is a joke.
Hey.
Crazy.
Eight teams can make it. Mariners slide in there. Y'all gonna watch.
By the way, what was
They literally made an emoji for picks like that. That little throw up and emoji.
It's excellent. I think that's great.
I don't think it's as bad as you guys are saying it, but it's okay. Also, I mean, I'm not gonna go there.
Tatis had an insane year last year. What was his batting average?
Wasn't insane.
You
He
said
fell
he
off.
had his- you said
No,
he
he
said he
on
had
a
an
start.
started
insane
really
start.
hot.
Okay.
Started.
Well,
He was one of the
definitely
hottest
have
hitters in
to go.
baseball.
In this year, what was his batting average?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Well, in the 60 game year, what was his batting average?
I think he finished at 270, if not 260. It was lower.
Yeah, it was 277.
This
So-
coming from the guy
Okay.
that also said you can't put too much stock in a 60-game season, and now you're touting his batting average from a 60-game
No,
season.
I'm
It doesn't make sense.
I'm touting with steps that it was insane.
He hit over 300.
What do you say?
Hold on.
2019, he hit over 300.
His rookie year said he hit 317, and he had 334 at bats. He like that bubble season, or the pandemic season. That's an anomaly. A lot of people responded differently in that first year, and I think he started off very hot. He was extremely one of the hottest in baseball, and he cooled off. But it's a shorter season, so he wasn't able to get back into his stride because the things changed when it's short. It was so much more condensed. You give him that whole span of the season, there's no reason to say he can't hit. Like,
Well,
All right. Hold on, Deck. Hold on. All right. We're going to get back on track. We are still at MVP. We still have to do Cy Young and Rookie of the
I
Year. So
didn't
we have
give
to
you
move
my
on.
AL. You cut me up.
Did you not?
I
I swore you started with AL.
I gave my Fire Soto pick. Shout out to Manny. Which I don't know how you guys think he's going to regress. But Tatis isn't.
No, that was to make
No.
a point.
It was
Okay, well, yeah. Well, I didn't think all three of them would regress.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I cut you off from AL. Please make it AL, and then I'm make my AL.
I wrestled with Jose Ramirez a lot, but I don't think the Indians are going to be that good. I like a healthy Aaron Judge this year. I think this is the year he does it.
Aaron
That's
Judge.
my bold
Aaron
pick.
Judge.
That's my bold pick.
Okay. All right.
Healthy
Okay.
Aaron Judge.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna move on to my AL pick. I didn't think Fernando Tatis Jr. would be the lightning rod. But my AL pick is gonna be Shohei Ohtani.
Nice. I like it.
I love Shohei now because it's not going to just be evaluated on his hitting. It's going to be his pitching as well. I think he's going to show us exactly what two-way players can be in the MLB. He's looked so good in spring training. He looks so locked in. I've seen some of his swings. He went opposite field a few days ago, and it was effortless. This kid is a superstar. Everyone in Japan knew it. Some of us here know it. I think he's going to have, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to have that breakout season. So that's my AL MVP right there. Garrett's
that's
going to
the
go back to
biggest
your
thing,
way.
though.
Yeah, I don't like him
Stays
staying home.
healthy.
Well-
That's the hardest thing. We haven't seen it yet.
We haven't. That doesn't mean it can't happen, though.
Yeah, no, but
This is why it's the way too early prediction. But let's move along. We got to keep moving here. So, Cy Young, Garrison, hit me with it.
All right, so AL, I don't like this, but I think it's going to happen. I think Garrett Cole's going to win the AL. Cy Young, I think he's going to deliver for the Yankees, and
All right.
I think it's going to be money.
Who's your NL?
In the NL now, this is a little harder for me.
Is it? Should it be?
I was stuck because I think
What are you wearing?
Is gonna kick.
Cut his mic
I
off.
get it.
You guys think the game is played on
I get it.
paper?
I get it.
He's gonna regress too.
Nah, he's not going to regress. He's going to be.
Then he said that with a straight face. That was funny.
Hold on. I do believe Walker Buehler is going to be the sleeper of these Cy Young.
Okay.
He's
All right.
just the team's getting better. He is a phenomenal pitcher. Ever since I saw him come out, I've been a big fan of him.
Mhm.
Big fan of him. Yeah, I think he's a Vanderbilt guy. One. However, as you guys noted, I got to take him down. Because the man is a machine and the best pitcher in baseball.
We definitely influenced that.
Undisputed.
You did.
All right.
You did.
No. You didn't influence me. I knew I was going there.
It's
but I had to
okay.
let you know I was conflicted.
I hear that. All right, we're going to move on. Manny, what you got for me? AL, NL, Cy Young.
Well, since Garrison brought up sleeper picks, I actually wanted to bring that up. Obviously, I'm going to DeGrom and Cole, regardless.
All right,
Those two
all right.
are going to be my safe picks. But for both leagues, I have Luis Castillo as a sleeper and Shane Bieber.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't call Shane Bieber a sleeper, but I think,
No, I know.
yeah,
No, I know,
but
I'm saying his
Luis Castillo.
secondary.
Yeah, Luis Castillo for sure. And Greg, what you got for me?
I'm going to go with the conventional DeGrom and Cole. I just think they're the two
There it
best
is.
pitchers in baseball.
There it is. You like it. Declan, what you got?
All right, so I'm going to change it up. First of all, Luis Castillo pick. I love Luis Castillo, but I'm really worried about the Reds' defense. It's horrible. They got Suarez, they're short, and Castellanos is a butcher in right field. And he might get traded, so all bets are off in that case.
Okay.
I'm going neither DeGrom nor Cole. You can't always go with the chalk, guys. You know, and as Steph showed you with the Mariners, that's DeGrom is my favorite pitcher in baseball. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
Okay.
Here's who I actually got winning the Cy Young.
You got
in the AL. In the AL, I got Lucas Giolito. I think he's going to have a lights-out season in Chicago. The South Side's going to be nuts. You're going to see some 27 jerseys.
Everyone's excited about White Sox.
7 jerseys.
All right, we got NL.
All right, in the NL, give me Aaron Nola. I think this is the year he really puts it together and goes off. Another number 27
LSU
guy.
Like it.
Yeah, Aaron. I really like it. I think it's going to be great. They got Real Muto back, so the battery stays alive. This is the year I think he can have a 3.25 ERA.
All right.
Strike.
I like it. All right, I'm going to do mine real quick. It's real easy. It's the conventional we all talked about. I got Jacob DeGrom in the NL and Garrett Cole in the AL. Garrison,
I was the only one not to pick that.
You were.
NL, I got Brian Hayes. I have the Brian Hayes in the That's what I have.
All right, Manny.
Rookies, I tried really quick, but I was going with Wander Franco on the Reese, the shortstop.
Yep.
NL, I'm not really
Top
known,
prospect.
so I'll just go with what Garrison just won, but I don't know.
All right.
I have really focused.
I'm gonna go with Garrison and Key Brian Hayes, Gold Glove potential, and great bat. And in the NL, in the AL, I'm gonna go Jared Kalenic, the bag.
Brody's Van Wagen, Mariners MVP. I'm gonna go with Randy Rosarina. He hit great pitching in the playoffs for the AL Rookie of the Year, and I'm gonna go with Dylan Carlson on the.
I like the Cardinals.
I like the Cardinals.
I think pitchers are gonna catch up to Rosarina because he struggles with breaking.
All right, so I'm gonna go with mine.
He hit really good pitching in the playoffs.
We gotta get going. So I'm
That's
gonna do
why
mine. I'm gonna head out. It's gonna be NL. Sixto Sanchez. I really like what he's doing out there in Miami. And then AL's going to be Jared Kalenic, just like Greg. Greg stole it from me, if anyone's going to ask.
Great picks,
So, hey, so we got to go to commercial break. Thank you, everyone, for staying locked in with us. We're going to be back, though. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented by the Sports Hit List. I want to thank our guests again, Garrison and Manny, for coming in. Really
Shout out
appreciate
to you guys.
We'll be talking some basketball when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
How's it going? Welcome back. This is Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We were talking a lot of baseball before, and now we're going to get into some basketball. We have, as you can see here, Carl Coulage, who made this all happen. Boss man himself, coming in to talk to us about some basketball. All right, so if you didn't see the headline, Carl, just say hi real quick, actually.
How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for being on.
The godfather of the sports hit list.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's great to be able to inspire people to continue living the dream, as I call it. So we're all living the dream here, being sports contributors. So it's pretty fun.
Steph, you good?
Yeah, I don't know. Am I good? I was frozen, right? Okay. My screen was frozen, so I stopped talking. We're good now, right?
That was the best way for him to get frozen.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Nice. So, like I said, we're talking basketball. And for those of you who don't know, the Nets acquired another player over the weekend. Lamarcus Aldridge, who was bought out, now signed with the Nets, and he's joining the Nets. After, the Blake Griffin signing, some people on the panel dislike that signing altogether. I think that Blake Griffin, you can replace Blake Griffin with a garbage can. I'm not going to say any names, but
Gotta lower the
that's
rim.
out there. But there has been some conversation around the Nets now being the best super team in the NBA ever. The best super, or the most super of super teams. And I know Greg has strong opinions. I'm going to let you start with this. But just to put it out there, the Nets are now being spoken about as the best super team to ever walk the earth. What do you think, Greg? What are your thoughts?
I think people need to relax. It's definitely a lot of recency bias going on. I'm happy the poll I put up in the sports hit list did not reflect that. because I put up a poll asking, are they the most super team? And it was a resounding no.
It was Cleo numbers, like 23 to 1.
It was bad. It was bad. But on Twitter, on like my Facebook feed, from like just regular people, even in some of my WhatsApp groups, dudes are go, oh my God, I can't just give the Nets the championship. This is too much. This is overkill. How much do they need? And I think they need to relax because, getting Lamarcus Aldridge is a nice role player piece, but they're making this seem like they're getting all-star Lamarcus Aldridge that played in Portland. And to your initial point, Steph, Blake Griffin still stinks, okay? And he is just a body at this point. That is it.
That's all they need. They need a functioning body.
Yeah. But
What do you think, Carl?
Oh, well, I'm going to try to keep it quick because I literally have class in 9 minutes. But
no. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
You really,
But let me say this. I think I agree with Greg, and that doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't.
Like, this whole weekend, instead of the narrative being about NCAA great basketball, everyone's talking about it again in sports groups, in different WhatsApp chats, just regular conversations. Everyone's talking about the Nets and the Lakers and their acquisitions. Oh, my God, they got another guy. They got another guy. But it's a lot of casual fans. Just notice who's talking. Real true fans who watch basketball, who understand the game, know that Blake and Lamarcus are past their primes. They're just, the others, like Shaq would say. They're not going to be that star player that they were back in their prime days. They're just looking for 10 to 12 points off the bench. So, again, I think a lot of the chatter, and again, NBA fans tend to do this, is just talk. It's just talking right now just to keep their entertainment up. So people are just entertained. Like, I've seen all these memes like Kevin Durant can't win without having a super-duper team. I don't think they're super-duper teams. I just think they're doing the best they can to keep players away from other teams to help them contend. So why not stack your team and have a backup player?
Keep away.
Also, the other thing that real fans are not talking about, this injury bug. And notice it, right? LA already has AD out, and they have LeBron out. The Nets have Kevin Durant out. These are just, I like to call insurance policies. You don't know going into the playoffs and how many of these games these guys have to play in this month, who's going to be available. So you need as many bodies as you can. Lamarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond give you bodies in case somebody goes down. You have somebody else to substitute to come into that play.
Yeah, I agree. I can agree with that. I will say, though, I'm just going to put the stat out here. A few nights ago, Blake Griffin, the trash can that Greg thinks he is, he put up 17 points and 3 boards off the bench. 17 points.
Can we qualify that? There was no Harden.
It was an
there
alley.
No KD.
It was an alley.
Kyrie.
He did throw down an alley.
He's going to do what he needs to do. Again, can Blake give you that 10 to 12 points if someone gets into foul trouble off the bench? And again, now Blake is not a focal point. Remember, Lob City Blake, he had pressure on him. I don't think Lob City, this Blake now, he doesn't have pressure on him as the guy. He's just there to give you 8 points, 4 rebounds. That's a good night for Blake Griffin right now.
Yes.
I think
three people on the panel agree. One person doesn't, no names.
No, see, here's the thing. I agree with that. But what I didn't agree with was the fanfare around when he got signed. Like, oh my God, they got Blake. They got Blake. No, he's not that.
Again,
also,
it's the casual fans, bro. It's the casual fans. The casual fans, again, I go down my timeline and people who I don't go watch the game, they're like, wow, they got Blake Griffin and they're talking about, I'm like, do you know what Blake has been doing the last 4 to 5 years in his career? Do you know? It's the casuals. I'm sorry. It's the casuals.
He's right.
Declan, what you got, Deck?
No, he's totally right. Like, listen, I'm a baseball, football guy. I follow basketball enough. I'm not a hardcore basketball guy. Basketball's my number 3, but that maybe that's why I drafted Lob City and I'm in like 8th place in Greg's fantasy league right now. That explains all too much. I know the Blake move is fine. The Aldridge move is fine. Obviously, Lamarcus Aldridge is not the guy that Mike Miller once said to Anthony Mullen was better than Anthony Davis. It's a different guy.
Was that a?
Different guy.
Hold on. Shout out to Chuck. He said we need a parody parody page for Marty. I agree with him.
Well, you know what? Marty likes to stay quiet. There's enough opinions going around it, but when the camera's off, he does have his stuff to say. He doesn't agree with you about Blake. I'll say that. you definitely know that for a fact. But I agree as well. I just think that there's a lot of, just people wanting to talk, like Carl said, which happens. People see names flying out, especially when you're a casual fan. You heard Lamarcus Aldridge before. You heard of Blake Griffin. So now you hear them going to the Nets. It's like, who don't the Nets have now? Not knowing what they've done.
Right, and you know what? Before these guys were even on the buyout market, no one was even talking about them. No one was irrelevant. No one was talking about Lamarcus Aldridge averaging 13 points on the Spurs. No one was talking about him. So it's crazy.
What's
He's
more
getting
relevant,
outplayed by Jacob Patel.
but what I will say is more relevant is Drummond signing or being signing with the Lakers. Yeah. So that to me is something that we should have been talking about, but obviously a little overshadowed by this Nets pick.
No, go ahead, Greg. No, go ahead, Greg.
Now, I was saying, like, the Lamarcus Aldridge pickup was a depth pickup. They made it seem like he's there to be the starting center. You know, he's there to just, you know, eat up minutes. You know, not I give you 35 to 40 minutes a game. Whereas the Drummond pickup fills a very specific role of a need that the Lakers were lacking. You know, in an immense way with no AD.
Right, and the other part of it is people forget what the Drummond pickup is, and some people call him trash based off like he's a stat filler.
No, not some people.
Andres, right, Andres, right.
Calling out names, all right.
But again, when you play with LeBron, I believe it just makes you better. So whatever you did before you played with LeBron is kind of like right out the window, and now playing with him, he's gonna help Drummond become a player that people in the potential he has. And again, I believe Drummond has led the league in rebounding maybe 2 or 3 years, right? So he's averaging like 13, 14.
He's an animal with the tray on the board.
He's a solid rebounder.
He's still a solid rebounder, yeah.
Just to speak to that point about making people better, right? Look at how Dennis Schroeder is running the offense with no LeBron on the floor. You know, he's actually leading the offense where, you know, Rondo couldn't lead that offense in the way that that Schroeder's leading now in terms from a scoring perspective.
Well, we all know playoff Rondo, though. You can't sleep on playoff Rondo.
This is true. That's why the Lakers got him.
Yeah,
I just want to throw it out there for those that think this is the most super team. Let us not forget about when KD went to the Warriors and what he added to that team in depth-wise. They had MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year.
That was a super team. Yeah, that was
definitely a super team.
But again, at this point, though, I don't know what the outrage is. Are we surprised? This is the NBA, right? This is the NBA where you do the best you can to stack your team, going to the playoffs to win a championship. Why are people just upset about it? It doesn't make sense.
You know who I blame for that? I blame Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics. That's
Absolutely.
There's only 2 minutes left.
Yep. Let's not start that.
There's only 2 minutes left.
Can we talk about the move of not only deadline, maybe the decade, maybe the century? Evan Fournier. Don't look his last name up online. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Oh man,
but it's a great move.
Whoa. Let's not get Carl started. Hey, you know, Carl, just for a race movie memory, boss man, we got it. We're good here. All right. He didn't mean it.
Danny Ainge. I don't even want to talk about it.
He didn't mean it.
He did mean it. He knew what he was doing. He set me up, but I'm not going to take the bait. Do I have time today? I got 2 minutes. Listen, Danny Ainge, and people are going to get at me for it. Eric's going to write me a whole novel about Danny Ainge and how great he is at his job. But we all know the truth. Without Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge is nothing. We all know it. He was able to trade Kevin Garnett to the Celtics in 2008 and give him that one championship. And since then, he's had all these players, and nothing has happened since. And I'm still waiting. I'm sorry. With all the talent that you've had, with all the draft picks you've had in 7 years, and having Kyrie Irving, having Gordon Hayward, having Al Horford, and you're still not even able to make the finals, there's a problem there. And again, we like to say the GM is the chef that brings the ingredients. So what ingredients are Danny Ainge bringing to the table that doesn't work? Maybe he's bringing too many ingredients. So that's all I have to say.
Well, we appreciate that. Declan, thank you for throwing that bait out there. Carl did take it. And
always.
Whether you're listening to Smoke and Mirrors or listening to Sports Hit List, you have Carl here with his hot takes. We have to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, all our special guests, especially Garrison and Manny, Carl for coming on. This is Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you again on Friday. 1, 2.
Can I say one more thing before we go?
I hit it.
Yeah, Greg, you're not slick. I see what you did. We had 40-minute booking. I got you. I got you next time on my platform. I got you, Greg. You did 45 minutes of baseball. You had me coming at the end when I told you I had class. You ain't slick.
That wasn't my fault, bro.
It wasn't by design.
It wasn't by design.
We'll have you next time. We'll clean it up next time.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. Great job.
Take care. All right, everyone. Have a good one.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.